Okay, thank you everyone for joining in. This is our 2025 Mother's Day podcast with some great examples of mothers and the Abacus staff. I'll start out first by introducing myself. My name is April Szlaga. I am the vice president here at Abacus. I am a mother, have been for 22 years. My oldest son is 22, and then I also have a 20-year-old son as well. Megan, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah, I am Megan Johnson. I am a client relationship manager at Abacus. I've been here almost 3 years. I have 4 kids. They are 20, 18, 7, and 3, all boys. So I'm all over the motherhood journey.
Yes, you are.
Currently. Yeah. And then Harika?
I'll start. Yeah. Hi, I am Afroze Banu, currently working as Senior Manager People and Culture at Abacus Staffing and Services Private Limited. I am a mother of a 9-year-old daughter. I have one kid. Her name is Ira. And about my motherhood journey, it has been a full mix of joy, learning, and immense growth, both personally and professionally. I'm truly blessed. In terms of support, I'm really blessed to have support from my family because they take care of Ira when I'm in office. So
that's great. Harika?
Yeah. Hi, this is Harika, and I'm Senior HR Analyst in Abacus. So I have one boy who is into teens now. So he's of 13 years old. Yeah. So handling a teen really it's what I can say, it's challenging and deeply rewarding as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, definitely welcome to the boy mom group, except for Afroze. You're our one girl mom here.
I know. You get glitter and glitter and sparkles. I have snails and rocks and crayons in every pocket.
I'm blessed to have that. I'm blessed because Ira is a support for me always. She takes care of me and she ensures that she doesn't disturb me when I'm on official calls or anything which I am doing in terms of my office work. So I'm blessed that way.
That's very good, especially with the unique situation that you both work in the sense of working in India, and you work India times, you also work US timings as well, a bit of a hybrid shift with overlap. Yes. So that's a bit of a challenge because of the schedule that your kids might be on versus us, who Megan and I are here in the US on, working during the day. So our kids are in school or wherever they might have been as during our work journey.
Yes, definitely. Motherhood actually had taught me patience because I used to be a quick-tempered person, but raising Ira, yeah. But now I'm a completely different person. My parents, in fact, are surprised sometimes. Are you the same Afroze? And because raising Ira helped me develop emotionally strong. I now respond to people after I listen to them. These qualities have really, I have got these qualities after I started raising Ira, and it helped me develop emotionally.
Yes, not only that, we'll become multitaskers as well after being a mother.
Correct. Yeah, multitasking. Under pressure. Children have definitely taught me how to multitask under pressure. Prioritize what matters the most and listen. I was not a very good listener before I had kids, which, all of those have kind of transitioned into my working life and kind of made me more human in the workplace as well, having so many different ages and personalities. And I have my 2 littles they have autism, so lots of patience, lots of patience.
You bring up a good point, Megan, the patience that we've all, I think, gained with this. But I want to talk about, especially, we're all at different stages, similar but a bit different stages. And how has it changed for you? Because I know when, my kids are, in college, graduated from college now, so it's a bit different now. I mean, the support, how you support your kids when they're in college is important, but different than when they're infants and then they're going through those ages. And, I was thinking back in preparation for this podcast, what it was like to have infants, and then in preschool and kindergarten and all of that, and how we really juggled that work plus home. And I look at, 22 years ago, how different it was in the workplace for women, I think, than it is now, and how it's evolved. Yeah. So what was it like for you when your kids were infants compared to what it is now?
For me, it's so much better now. It's crazy, having that broad spectrum of ages. When my older two were in daycare, if there was an issue, daycare would call, and I'd be so nervous going to my boss and being like, my kid has lice, or like, my kid just punched somebody, I have to go pick him up. And just to hear like, can anybody else go get them? Or, all of the questions. And now with my two little ones, it's, I will just reach out and just say, hey, I have this situation. And everybody's like, go, like, what are you still doing here? Like, go get your kids. And it makes work so much more enjoyable when you don't have to stress the phone calls. If I see the elementary school call my phone, I'm not stressed. I know that if it's an emergency and I have to go, I can go. And that everybody's just, how was it? Everything okay? Do you need any support? But 20 years ago, it was not like that. It was stressful. It was so stressful.
It was. I think
definitely a better employee, not having to worry about that.
And I think some of it was not necessarily the stress that from the employer necessarily, because I've been with Abacus for almost 20 years. So I had that support, but it was stress I put on myself. I don't want to let my work down. I don't want to let my son down. I don't want to let this person down. And so that was just stress that I kept piling on myself. Oh, I'm going to miss this field trip because I can't miss this work meeting, and things like that. And I think now, looking back, I wish in some cases I did things a little different, because I do think I missed out on some things where I prioritized work over my kids. In the sense of, I would send, my mom to a party at school or something like that. And looking back, I wish I would have done it differently. But at the same time, I'm thankful that I did work for an employer who was so open and understanding about having kids.
Yeah, I think as we speak up more as women and kind of vocalize like what is going on in our personal lives, so that our personal lives don't really bleed into our workplace, because we have that support. We are letting our employers know what is going on, where our limitations are, but also where we can give more. I think mothers in general, we know that we get pulled away a lot. So we work twice as hard when we are actually, working. At least for me, it's like I'm constantly trying to predict that there's going to be some type of emergency. And when I say emergency, I mean like, the other day, just, my son is in the bathroom and I just hear him scream like, my fart is on the floor. And like, I'm in the middle of a call and I'm all, okay, like, what do I do? And I'm like panicking, but I'm on the phone, I explain the situation, they're laughing, I'm laughing, and it just kind of makes it much easier to kind of transition, take care of what needs to be taken care of, and then come back in and kind of pick up where you've left off. I think mothers and even fathers now, working from home, and as fathers are stepping up more, they're kind of realizing what mothers are doing, and they are much more understanding to all of these random things that just kind of pop into our life that we have zero control over. And I working at home, I don't have my children here often, but sometimes I do. And they're very respectful, but you can't predict everything. I can get all the snacks out, give them all the fruit snacks, the drinks, and turn the TV on. And there's always going to be something that you
joke, Megan, because my son, who is 22 now, and he just graduated with his master's, which is very exciting. But he's living at home right now, and in my home office, it's a glass door, and still to this day, he knocks on the door in the afternoon, and I could be on a video call, and he's like, "What's for dinner?" What's for dinner? But it still happens when they're older. It's not just when they're young kids. Afroze, what about you?
No.
I have become, absolutely. I completely agree with you all. And then I feel that I've become more empathetic and understanding. I no longer see people just as professionals. When I work with my colleagues or reporting employees, I now recognize many roles they juggle with, especially the female employees. And it made me more mindful and supportive, especially when mentoring women, navigating work from and personal family responsibilities.
Yeah, for me, there's lots of difference when he's a kid and now he's a teen. He's doing his own work now. I can tell that. Before I used to guide him, there's a lot of support also from my family, colleagues, everyone. So I learned that it's better to make mistakes until we grow and learn from that. So there's a lot of things that changed after he came to teens, like he's okay with he's learning. He's now a learner, and really, I'm happy seeing my kid do his household things, helping me. Yeah.
That's important too, right? Having them, I know, Afroze, you spoke of that too, right? The support that you're both getting from them, helping and taking care of their moms now, and that's something that I think it's important for all of us to do, right? We're trying to teach our kids to be responsible adults, right? And that starts early on for us. And I think that as moms, it's so important for us to teach our kids the way that to treat other people. They see us working in a professional environment, and they're getting cues from us. And I want them to know how to treat other people in the workplace, not just women, right? I think for us raising boys, it's extremely important, right? We're raising men. That's how I look at it, who treat women the right way and all of that. And Afroze, it's important for you as a mom of a girl that you teach her the right way to be treated as well. So it's extremely important in all of our roles. How do you think that it affects you in your own personal growth in terms of both personal and professional, being a mom?
Being a mom, the question is for me or Megan?
Or anybody, just anybody. Go ahead, Rose.
Yeah. Being a mom has always, I know you all of y'all have been telling that we have to multitask. Otherwise, we are not going to do. So balancing everything, whether it is parenting or office work and household chores, it is important that we do everything. And like I have mentioned, a big thank you to my family, whether it be my mom, husband, and siblings, who have always supported. Y'all will be surprised when I tell y'all that, in fact, when Ira was born, I was growing in my career at that time, 9 years back, and my sister took a 1-year break just for me to continue with my work, and so that she takes care of Ira. And that is something which I will never forget in my life.
That's really special.
Yeah. That. I think before I became a mom, I measured my success by how much I achieved and how much I put out. And now it's more about impact, and I'm more about peace and integrity. And I care more now about how I show up within the workforce versus how much I check off. And it's just, success, it's just it's being present, and being present both at work and at home, and creating a space just where everybody can thrive. And it's great. It took me a long time to get to that point. It probably took 3 kids before I kind of that like mind shift change, slow learner. But once I realized that peace was more important and just being there for everybody was more important, it took a lot of stress off of me. And it's made motherhood and work more enjoyable. And I very much enjoy clocking in, working, but I also enjoy clocking out and being with the kids. And it's a nice feeling. It's really nice.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Megan because before mother, it's like achieving the targets and climbing the professional ladder. But after becoming the mother, we become more patient, focused, and we see for the peace, happiness, and create a positive environment around us, not only at home, but around our colleagues, wherever we work as well.
Harika, did you notice that once you like kind of rein in and stop pushing to climb the ladder, like it just climbs for you. All of a sudden you're getting that call with the promotion or the raise or, and you're like, wait, what? Like, okay. Once like you stop worrying about it all the time and just kind of be present and in the moment, everything just falls into place. And it just, it's just a good feeling. It's a really good feeling.
Yes. Family support is what I feel is important because with me balancing work, I used to be out on business travels as well, and with parenting it has been tough. But like I've told, my family has supported me where I have managed to handle both roles. And Ira actually gets excited when I'm on business travels because she get all the pampering she receives from my mom and her uncle and aunt.
She's got it all figured out. She's good. She's got it all. Life is all figured out for her right now. I love that. She's smart.
Yes, she is.
And also, I learned to prioritize my tasks a day before, making a to-do list and what comes first, what comes next, prioritizing the tasks every day. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is good. I think that's a great task that you learn from being a mom because with kids, right, you have to multitask like we've talked about. You have to prioritize, okay, this over this, and that does flow into our work. So I do think there's a lot of great skills that we learn just from being a mom that help us in our day-to-day work.
Definitely basically balancing being able to give our best both at work and still being a parent.
Right. Yeah, I think just doing everything naturally kind of helped break a lot of those stereotypes. What do you think, April?
I agree. I mean, I think over time I've seen it evolve, just like you, Megan. We have kids who are a bit older, so I think we've seen a little more evolution of it. It has evolved a lot. And I actually think kind of what's helped a bit too has been the flexibility to work from home. That has opened it up because 22 years ago when I had an infant, my first child, there wasn't that option. So if they were sick, you were at home not working. But now, right, I think that's a bit different. You can take care of a sick child and still work from home and get things done. So you can do both. And back then you couldn't do that. So I think that there's been so many positives in the workforce that have allowed us to do both, right? And not feel guilty about either one. We know, okay, I can take care of my child. I can also work and I can also extend and work later to make up some time if I need to, which is great flexibility that we didn't have in the years past.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, moms are, we're committed. I think a lot of employers are understanding that, but there still are those employers where they don't see us as committed and available. And we are, working moms, at least, from what I can see and what I have worked with, they are the most driven, strategic, efficient people. We say here, we do it with spit up on our shirts. We do it knowing our calendar is completely full. We do it knowing that we have to leave in 15 minutes. The amount of work sometimes I can get done in 15 minutes shocks me. It's kind of like when someone texts you and they're like, I'm on my way to the house, and you get your entire house cleaned. For me, when I know I have certain stops that I have to do, or, my son gets out at 2:00 on Thursday. So I know at 1:50, I have to get in the car, get him. I'm back by like 2:05. And that 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, where am I going to find it in my day? And I do. And I just end up getting so much more done because I've been doing this my entire life. In my personal life, it's kind of like come into the workplace, and it's great. I love it. It keeps my brain going, and it's like a puzzle all day trying to fit all the pieces in, make sure it works. And stress, I don't know. Sometimes I stress, but then at the end of the day, I'm like, you got to stop stressing, because it all ends up working out by the end of the day.
It does.
Completely agree with Megan. Yeah, the misconception that people have that we are distracted or less committed, definitely not. In reality, working women are someone who are most focused, efficient, and professionals out there.
Mm-hmm.
We learn to prioritize, multitask, and we bring emotional intelligence to workplace. So that misconception of people is about working women, and I wish people would rethink about this, is definitely needed.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, I've really enjoyed our conversation. We've touched on a lot of great points. Let's spend the last, time we have here doing some fun, rapid fire fun rounds where we all can give some quick answers, right? So coffee or tea? How do we survive busy mornings?
Oh man, coffee. Strong, very strong.
Black strong coffee.
Hold on, guys.
We all have our cup here, I think.
And my backup. I have my.
Yes.
I have a confession to make, and I will probably make every single one of you question my sanity. I have a coffee pot on my nightstand. It is my alarm clock. It goes off at 4:30. I wake up to the smell of coffee, because when my feet hit the floor, everything wakes up. So I like to enjoy like 30 minutes. So coffee goes off. I sit in bed. I drink a cup. It's the best way to wake up.
Wow.
It's the smell of coffee wakes you up versus like the wah, wah, wah. And I get my 30 minutes of peace, because as soon as my feet hit that floor, kids, dogs, cats, chickens, they're all awake, and they all want something from me.
So what about your favorite mom hack that saves your day?
Cooking and packing in advance. Ira's favorite food when she goes to class, her morning classes. So when she's back, she's responsible enough to take care of her, to get ready and everything. But she's surprised when I cook something very good for her, and pack lunch and snacks for her.
Mm-hmm.
I think a to-go bag has been the biggest lifesaver for me. I have one by the door and one each in my car. Just wipes, diapers, extra underwear, Band-Aids, fruit snacks, like literally anything I think my kids can ask for throughout the day. I have in each bag. Once a week, I fill it back up. And it's just it takes so much stress off having to like stop and just get one random diaper if you're out, or having to grab a thing of wipes. My to-go bags are lifesavers.
What about you, Harika?
The same. I'll plan a night before. So whatever it is, clothes or any meals, whatever it is, I'll plan it a night before, because it will reduce my stress in the morning. Mm-hmm. So without rushing the things, it will reduce the stress in the morning.
That's great. I think fortunately for me, I'm out of that phase where I don't have to get them that stuff. But growing up, that was the best thing. What I would do for the week was they had these organizers in their closets, and I would pack we would put all the days of school's clothes already for the week. So that way that was already done. Lunches the night before, all of those things. So same thing. It's really preparing and being ready.
Yeah.
What's your proudest mom moment so far of 2025?
Mine would be seeing my two younger boys who are, they're both autistic. So the emotion and that physical touch is just not there. And watching them comfort and support someone with like genuine compassion.
That's special.
Knowing that biologically it's not something that they do. So that's something that they've learned from me. I think that's just been like the biggest thing. Watching them just hug somebody, they see them crying, they hug them. because they, not that they want to, they just know that's what's right, and they've been taught that, and it's just, yeah, I think that is the biggest thing.
Great.
For me, this year, my proudest moment was when Ira planned a special birthday surprise for me. With the help of her, I was actually shocked. With the help of her aunt, she actually selected a gift, placed the order online, and even paid for it using her money from her own piggy bank.
I love that. That's special.
I was emotional, but I felt proud that she's so thoughtful and mature in this age.
That's so great. Harika, what about you?
My proudest moment is that my kid nowadays is learning from mistakes. He's learning that it's okay not to be okay. He's learning from failures.
That's a great lesson for all of us that I think we still are learning sometimes.
Yeah. So before he used to be very emotional because as a kid, for everything he used to be stressful, emotional. But now he's okay. Like he's learning from his mistakes. I'm happy for that. He's growing. Yeah.
That is great. My proudest mom moment just happened the other day. My older son just graduated with his master's degree at the age of 22. So that's pretty young. So to get your master's. So that's so far this year, that's going to be a hard one to beat.
Right.
Congrats.
Yes. So as we bring this to a close, what's one word that describes motherhood to you?
Fierce.
Transformative.
Unconditional.
Grace. So thank you all. This was a great conversation for all of us as we are moving into Mother's Day weekend. I wish everybody out there a very happy Mother's Day. And, this was a great conversation for all of us. I look forward to 2026 Mother's Day. Thank you all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day.
All right. Bye.
Everyone. Bye.
Bye.